Welcome back, everybody, to Catching Up with Cassie J. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's been a long day, and I'm here to do a two-part because I took off last week, so I forgot that I had to do this Love and Hip Hop Miami last Tuesday. So last week, let me see what I want to talk about last week. Shay and Jojo, they talked. They hashed it out. Kudos, I suppose. I'm just not for this. I'm all for people talking things out, and forgiveness and all of that. But I just don't understand why people feel like just because we talk something out or we hash something out, that we have to then go back to being friends. Why can't we just say, I forgive you. I'm glad that we talked this out. I'm glad you're doing well. And I wish you well. And go on with your life. I don't know why we have to be friends about it. Amada planned a show. It was her first show by herself. MJ encouraged her to reach out to her dad because her dad was not a part of her life growing up. Her mom did not want her to do that because she kind of felt like, why? Basically, I mean, he wasn't a part of your life. He wasn't there for you. You're doing great on your own. You grew up. You're successful. You don't need him. And I think she feels like it's going to cause you heartache if you try to have this relationship with your dad. And I can understand that. Her mom just wanted to protect her. Suki, Chameleon, Hood Brat still was trying to plan the tour together. They said they were going to call themselves BAPS. I forgot what the acronym was supposed to be, but I know it was kind of like a play off of the movie BAPS with Halle Berry in it. Suki did break down about how she was wanting to do the tour, but she was scared about, not necessarily scared about, but she was just saying that doing the tour and doing all the stuff is taking her away from being home with her kids. And she wants us to work. She needs it to work. And I know that Hood Brat had the same conversation with her sister about doing all this work. Yeah, it's good and it's great. And I know that's your dream. And I know that you're trying to do this to make the money and to get to that certain point where you're able to financially provide for the kids. But part of being a parent, an aunt, is you have to be present. It's all nice to come through and give them gifts and spoil them. They appreciate that, but they value your time even more than anything that you could ever buy them. Like, that is priceless. And that was what Hood Brat and her sister was talking about. She was like, I need your help. Like, I need you to be here. I don't need you just to send me some money. Like, money can't replace you being here. They also talked about how their other sister who had committed suicide, how Hood Brat was dealing with it or not dealing with it. So she just felt like I should have been able to be there for her. She should have been able to call me. I should have been able, almost to the point I think she felt like she was blaming herself in a sense. Like, she felt like she should have been able to stop her. And I know that's I can only imagine. I don't personally know. I just can imagine that was hard to know that someone that you feel so close to and you love did something like that, and to feel like they wouldn't and didn't reach out to you, and you couldn't be there for them in that vulnerable time. So it was a lot. It was a touching scene. So it just goes back to that saying, you've probably heard it before. You never know what somebody's going through. So a smile, a hello, it goes a long way. When you tell somebody, hey, I'm going to call you back, try to make sure you call them back, because you never know that missed call, that return call can change somebody's life. Like, they might be waiting on that call. So, Joy and Trina, they confront Trick because, he got arrested. And they was like, what is going on with you? What are you doing? And Trick is just real nonchalant about it. He was like, I got everything under control. I don't need you guys coming in here talking to me. I don't need y'all trying to baby me. And it's like, clearly, Trick, you don't have this under control. Trick has lupus. Trick has had this for years, and he's self-medicating. He does not want to take the medications that the doctors would prescribe. Part of me understands it to an extent, but the problem is he's smoking weed with cocaine, if I'm not mistaken. That's what they said he was doing. So it's like, no. Now, I know that they do sell cocaine. It's like they use it as a topical solution. It is legal in that form. Now, you can't just go to the doctor and be like, can I get some of that cocaine? And that's not how that works. So cocaine has been used in a medical sense for healing purposes. Now, you can't just go on the street corner and get it and use it. So it's not far-fetched that cocaine has healing capabilities. However, you're not a doctor, Trick, so you can't do that. I know that people don't like doctors and they want to do things in a more natural, holistic approach to having prescription drugs. So I get it. But if you're not speaking to an herbalist or, a natural doctor to consult, if you're not consulting with these kind of people, then you're not taking care of yourself. And it's showing up. And it's showing. And that's the concern. So Amada's performance, it wasn't a bad performance. The day was going bad because it was raining. She was afraid that the rain was going to affect the performance. She was scared that people were not going to show up because, I'll be honest, an outdoor event, if it's raining, I probably won't show up. I'm just not the one to stand out in the rain. Not outdoors. Indoors, yeah, I'll just get in the car, get my umbrella, and go on. But I'm not the one to stand outside in the rain now. But the show does go on. The show goes well. She was afraid that the dancers might fall on stage. And I was concerned about that too, because the stage was getting wet too. So it's a lot that can happen with that. But the show goes well. Jojo came to support, and I make the comment that Jojo made sure when Shay introduced her brother, she was like, oh, we've met before. And I'm like, and she made sure to throw that out there. Amada's dad did show up. She was nervous about that too, that he was going to stand her up, and he didn't, which was good. They talked after the show, and she basically wanted to know, why are you not a part of my childhood? Where were you? And he was saying, essentially, he didn't have the papers to come. He didn't have the money to get here, but he never stopped thinking about her. He always kept tabs on where she was and her whereabouts and so on and so forth. So, they had their moment that they needed to have, and he was telling her that he was going to make sure that he stayed a part of her life. And that's what she wanted to hear. That's what she needed. And it leads into this episode for this week where Amara tells her mother, Dad was there, I talked to him, he explained to me why he wasn't there for me earlier, and now he's sick, he has cancer, and I want to help him. Her mama was like, no, he's just trying to use you. He sees that you're successful, he sees you have money, and he wants a part of that. Girl, he was not there for you your whole life. I understand where her mom is coming from, because that's how it looks. It looks like, okay, I have this successful daughter that's on TV now. It looks like she's living a good life. Let me see how I can get in here. And it's a shame that's how that might be what that is. But Amara's just like, well, I do have the resources. I do have the ability to help him. And if I can help him, I'm going to help him. So Briscoe hangs out with his ex, Chilo. I can never pronounce the po child's name. And their son, he calls his son Snacks. That's his nickname. But his name is Britton. They go bowling, and he's just telling her how he wants to continue to do things like that, wants to bring the family back together. Baby steps, Briscoe, baby steps. You got to continue to show and tell. That's all I can say about that. Continue to show and tell. On to Saucy Santana. I'm going to say this. Saucy Santana, listen, his nails was longer than mine. And his waist was more snatched than mine. Okay, I'm not going to hate. His waist was snatched. Them jeans was fitting tighter than mine. And I wear some tight jeans sometimes. But his jeans was tighter than mine. So his eyebrows was on fleek. However, here was the mess. Because the episode was just going along well and good. And I was like, I know this ain't how this episode's going to go. This ain't going to be no good episode. I know it's not going to be a good episode. Something got to come up. And surely enough, they bring him in to bring the mess in. So, him and Suki and K-Million were in the studio because he had a new song out. The song sounded like it was going to be a little cute little thing you can, do around the house. So he was letting them know, this is my new song. I got a new mixtape about to come out. I'm about to have me a little mixtape album release party. I always find this so funny with these Love and Hip Hop shows. They have a release party for everything that they do. Everything. I got a new photo. I just did a photo shoot. About to have a release party for the new photos I'm about to put out for my new spread. Everything. I just made me some new nail polish. I only got one color right now, but I'm about to do a release party. Girl, I just got my nails done. I'm about to do a release party to showcase these new nails I got done. These shows consist of release parties, lunches, wine tasting, and vacations. However, I am happy to see some hip hop in these shows. I'm glad to see some people putting some music out. Now, what I would like to also see is I would like to hear these songs on the radio. I want to hear them. Because I hate that there's so much music that is being made on these shows. And then I don't hear them no more, and that makes me upset sometimes. Now, Santana is letting them know that he's gonna have this release party, but he lets Sookie know that her manager cannot come. Miami Tip is not invited because apparently he had a situation where he got shot after leaving a club, and Miami Tip got on live and was saying that he provoked the situation that led him to getting shot, but Santana says that he felt like he was targeted because he's a gay rapper. Now, that's a situation. So he's like, I have an issue with your manager and I don't want her there. And Sookie was trying to defend him and was just basically saying, well, maybe she was just telling her side. I don't think she was, necessarily blaming you. I think she was just saying what she had seen. That was just her perspective of the situation. He was like, you know what? That's cool. You're right. You know what? He said, maybe she'll apologize. He said, well, you know what? I'm going to invite her. Tell her she can come. So Joy and Trina take Trick to a fitness class. I don't know if they didn't tell Trick that they was going to go work out, because Trick showed up and looked like some boots and jeans. Trick was on this trampoline. His feet got this high. I'm lying. His feet didn't even come off the trampoline. He was just on the trampoline like this. He didn't jump. He was just moving like this. Trick is not here for it. He said he just want to be fat, and he's fine with being fat. He's not here for it. But they're trying to get him to take his health more seriously, but he's not there for it. Amada and MJ go to the pet store. I liked MJ in the beginning, but I am slowly starting to not like him. He just tries too hard. I'm seeing the angle, and of course this episode is showing more of it. He takes to the pet store to get a dog for her. Didn't talk to her about getting a dog. He just went and bought a dog with her money. And tells her, this is going to be our dog baby, since you don't want to have a baby right now. I don't want to pressure you into having a baby, but I'm going to go ahead and get you this dog baby. Who said I wanted that responsibility? Who gonna take care of this dog? I got work to do. So they get the dog. And then he was like, I just want you to know, I know that you're under a lot of pressure. I know you got a lot going on. And I'm here to help you. And while you're going through this transition period, I want you to know, I'm here for you. And I will be your manager. Because I have your best interests at heart until you can find you a permanent manager. Amanda said, who are you talking to? Last time I checked, you hadn't managed nobody but yourself. And by the looks of it, sir, you're not doing too well, because I ain't heard you. I ain't heard nothing about you. I don't know what chart you've been on. So since none of that applies to you, I don't think that... he booked himself on the show. So he can get you some bookings on some shows, possibly. If you want to act, maybe he can get you some acting. He might not can book you no studio time, but he can book you maybe some more reality shows, maybe a couple of acting gigs, because, I don't feel like you should be managing nobody, sir, but that's what he was trying to do. He's trying to get himself on her management team. That's too much. I don't need to. It's too much. And that's what she goes on later on. When she goes to the party, at the album release party for Santana, she brings that up, and I'll talk about it in a minute. So Miami Tip, Suki, K Million, and Hood Brad are interviewing for a road manager because they are going to go ahead and try to get this tour together. That interview was so ratchet. You got Miami Tip trying to be professional as possible. You got Suki and K Million over here trying to find a manager that they can sleep with and who will buy them Hennessy and wings on the road. You got Hood Brat over here like, oh, I ain't about to have no managers talking to me like they crazy. Oh, you ain't about to be disrespecting me. I'm like, a manager has to be able to get you in line because you girls is all over the place. It's 3 personalities that is just wild and very boisterous. I mean, for God's sakes, y'all was just fighting over there at the boot camp, quote unquote, jumping somebody. So, I ain't gonna even say quote unquote, y'all was jumping somebody. So, yeah, you need a manager that is not afraid to stand up to y'all, and y'all not gonna like that. Y'all want somebody that's gonna go along with you guys. Now, in one sentence, they're like, I want a manager that's gonna stand up to us. But then the minute a manager comes up here and stands up to y'all, then y'all gonna be like, who they talking to? They talking to you. So the interview didn't go well. It ended with them telling Miami Tip that, you know, Santana's having this release party. You weren't initially invited, but he's gonna invite you. But I think he's expecting an apology from you. And she was kind of like, what am I apologizing for? I was just telling my side of the story, what I witnessed because I was there. She said, but you know what? I'll be the bigger person and apologize. So she goes to the party. She's the last one there. But before she gets there, like I said, Amato is sitting there talking to Prima Donna, letting her know how she feels like with MJ trying to be more involved with her business, it's taken away from their relationship because it's turned into more business conversation than their relationship, which is going to be a problem, which is becoming a problem for her. And Prima Donna is a little worried, and she's like, I hope that Amada is taking heed to what's going on. Alvin from the Chipmunks, the reject crew, comes over. Alvin, you were fired from Trina. And then you went over here, now you in the back cooking chicken. But now you're trying to be a front runner again? With your fluffed up resume as a creative director for Trina. He approaches the girls and says, I hear y'all looking for a road manager, and I just want you to know that, listen, I can take you to the top. All the way to the top. I don't know what top he's referring to. The top of the stairs. Because that's as far as I feel like he gonna take somebody. The top of the nearest staircase. So he throws his hat into the ring and was like, you know, I just want you guys to know. And they said, aren't you the line cook over there at the restaurant? He said, yeah, I might be in the back cooking chicken now, but I'll be taking you to the top tomorrow. Okay. I mean, he'll make sure that they have their chicken and Hennessy because he can cook it up real good because he's cooking now, so they can get the Hennessy and chicken. At least he checks that box off. Alvin, I mean, how much is that check for these 2 scenes that I've seen you in? Because I've seen you, well, you've probably been about 3 scenes. So how much is that check for these couple of scenes you've been in? Because you're trying to find your way into these scenes to get you some money. But I don't know if you don't have no speaking part, if it count. So if you just an extra in the back, do you still get a check? As a familiar face? A friend of the show? So, when I seen him, though, I said, isn't that Alfred? the butler. But anyway, Miami Tip shows up, and they had a no trespassing sign with her face on it. She said, the bouncer said, "Isn't this you right here?" She said, no, that's my sister. And tried to go around the bouncer. The bouncer was like, "No, that's you. You can't get in." She was like, "I was invited." She's out there yelling, "Suki! Suki!" Suki comes out there and was like, "What's up, girl? What's wrong with you?" She was like, "Look at this mess. Like, he got a no trespass." They was like, "Oh, that is dirty. Let me go in here and talk to him." So now Shay and Amada come out and they like, "Girl, what's up? Hey, what you doing out here?" He was like, "I can't get in. He got me blocked from getting in." So, Suki goes in and said, "Why my homegirl can't get in? Like, what's up? My sis out here." He said, "Oh, well, maybe she need to go on live and apologize to me." She said, "Well, she right outside. She was, she came to apologize to you." He said, "Well, she need to keep the same energy she had when she was talking about me. Keep that same energy and apologize to me in that same form." So, he just wanted to embarrass her. He had no intention of inviting her into the party because everybody's like, "I didn't see that sign when I got here." And he was like, because it wasn't there. He put it up after everybody got in so nobody could warn her to tell her not to come. He was being petty, and that's what he did. He was like, "Well, your homegirl can't get in, so I guess you need to tell her either she get on that live and apologize, or she can go on back about her business." So Miami Tip was like, "I'm not doing this. I'm just going to leave." So she left because he wasn't budging. And I was just like, okay, y'all just... okay. It was insane. So Briscoe goes over to Trick's house. He was inviting the fellas over for some food and some dominoes. And he was just like, "I just want to have a fellas day. I don't want nobody to question me about this situation as far as him getting arrested." But Briscoe had already said that he wanted to talk to him because he was just like, he was concerned about his friend. And surely enough, Chaotic brings it up and was like, "So what's this I hear about you getting arrested?" And Trick, as usual, is trying to play it off. He was like, "I done got arrested several times." And they just kind of laughed it off. But then they was like, "No, but for real. Bruh, what's going on? Are you good?" And he's just kind of like, "I don't want to talk about this. I got this under control." And I just don't know what it's going to take for Trick to really get it together and really realize that this is a serious situation. And you need to stop trying to brush this under the rug and stop acting like it's not a serious situation. And the last thing that we ended with was Prima Donna going to her old neighborhood. She was talking to her old friend, Annie. She was talking about she was happy that she made it out of the hood. She's doing well. Letting her know people trying to make her feel bad about making it out. How Miami Tip had told her she felt like she just left her behind. And her friend was like, "Don't let nobody make you feel bad about getting out of the situation that we're living in." Now, she also let her know that she ran into her old boo, who was MJ. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, I've seen him around with his new girl, Amada." And she was like, "I hope that he doesn't do her like he did me." Meaning, when they were dating, MJ was trying to have his own musical career. And she paid for everything. She paid for all the studio time. Anything that he needed to try to get his career to the next level. And once the money ran dry, she had to get a job because he refused to get a job. And then they eventually broke up. So that was her concern, was that he's found his next victim to just basically suck up and use. So that's where we're going to pick up with next week. Them two, or those three, Prima Donna and Amada, and Annie having a conversation, letting her know the man that she's dating. So I am interested in seeing how that conversation goes. That looks like that's going to be the juicy thing that happens in Amada confronting MJ. So we're going to see how that all goes. Sorry for the lengthy video. I had to get 2 episodes into one. So, yes, you guys, I will see you guys on Saturday when I do our other 2 reviews. So enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone, and good night.